Assalamualaikum. My name is Muazzam Mohamed. I'm the chairman of Islamic Finance Committee of Malaysian Institute of Accountant, and currently I am also the Group Chief Executive Officer of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. Because Malaysia is the leader in Islamic finance in Malaysia, so with that, in order to support the development of skill sets and competencies to further augment the growth of Islamic finance, Malaysian Institute of Accountants, through the Islamic Finance Committee that was set up, came up with various initiatives, efforts on capacity building in terms of equipping specifically accountants for them to be familiar with Islamic finance, the kind of challenges, the kind of capabilities that's required to be able to support. So I believe that there is potential especially for accountants in Malaysia to pursue their career in the industry sector of Islamic finance, because this is also an area whereby Malaysia is playing a leadership role. And when we look at in terms of the ambition of the country and also the opportunity that's available, where the country as a whole is putting Islamic finance as the mainstream in terms of financial institutions and the engine of growth to propel the growth of other sectors in Malaysia, definitely there's a lot of opportunities for not just Islamic finance professionals but accountants pursuing their careers in Islamic finance. Plenty of funding gap still that's required. There is huge demand in terms of the impact project that's required to be funded, for example in the area of energy transition, for example in the area of affordable housing, in terms of upliftment of the livelihood of the marginalized communities. And Islamic finance has got more flexible in terms of the instruments, not just relying on instruments such as deposit. It also has instruments such as investment accounts, but more importantly it has the natural philanthropic capital instruments such as sadaqah, wakaf and even zakat that can help to mobilize funding from those that have excess funding to be able to intermediate, to be able to support these impact projects. So I believe that Islamic finance is well suited to intermediate this mobilization of funds to be able to support all these projects. And in terms of the readiness of the instruments, we have demonstrated in Malaysia, for example, we have got our Sadaqah House, especially in Bank Islam, that is doing this kind of intermediation currently. We also have got instruments such as IT card that is being pursued by the industry, Islamic financial industry in Malaysia, that mobilize funding to be able to support micro enterprises. We also have instruments such as My Wakaf, which is championed under Association of Islamic Banks and Financial Institutions in Malaysia, to be able to mobilize funds again to support social impact projects in Malaysia. So coming back to my point is that the instruments are ready. What we really need is to be able to scale this, and with that availability of funds is very important. And I hope that with greater awareness about the availability of instruments, about the readiness of us intermediating this, there'll be more funds that can be channeled to support all these impact projects. When it comes to reporting, I do believe that as we focus a lot more in terms of impact investment and impact financing, is becoming even a lot more important. Because whereas in the past, when it comes to financial reporting for any institution, we focus a lot more in terms of the financial return perspective of that financial institution or even any corporations. More of looking in terms of strength of the balance sheet, more of looking in terms of the ROE and the P&L that's generated. However, when we talk about sustainability, when we talk about in terms of impact, especially for financial institutions such as Bank Islam, there are other focus that we put in whereby while generating still return for our shareholders, for our stakeholders, we give a lot more emphasis in terms of the kind of income elevation that we have made to the underserved community in terms of job creation, to the entrepreneurs that we have intermediated through our Sadaqah House, for example. So obviously, when it comes to reporting, it is important for us to be able to report on the impact that we have made beyond just the P&L that is generated from our business. While that's important in terms of ROE and all that, but the impact is also important, so that it gets appreciated by shareholders as well as the capital providers for us, because that we also attract philanthropic capital where people place their money with Bank Islam, or intermediate rather their fund through Bank Islam, because they want to see the impact of the capital that they have provided in terms of the areas of giving positive return to the economy, generating economic returns, uplifting the income and elevate the income for the marginalized community, and also in terms of the impact to the environment. So beyond just compliance to ICSSB requirements, it is a very effective and important communication tool back to our shareholders in terms of how do we intermediate, how do we make use of the funds that we have received to give positive impact to the economy, to the society, to the environment.